Yatta hey from New Mexico, the land of enchantment, the land of big sky, the land of mesas. Wow, what a land it is. This is Bob again, W5SFR for the ham radio guys out there, and just plain old Bob for the New Mexicans around here that might know me. And this is another recording that hopefully sometime I'll put over a video. At the moment, I'm just killing time and thought I'd do a little recording in here and see how it goes. Well, New Mexico. Wow. At first glance, it looks so barren and open and wild. At second glance, it is barren and open and wild. But if you look deep, you can find a lot of beauty here too. There's interesting facts about sagebrush I've looked up and heard different stories about how some of them may even be 300 years old. They don't get very big, 3 feet maybe. So that being said, on my property here, that means that there might be some sagebrush out there that was around when the Navajo was scalping the cowboys. Anyway, so what else goes on here? Oh, yeah, I know. The one thing that's really cool about this area, and I'm afraid it's going to change. There's a lot of free running horses here. They're wild. They live a wild lifestyle. They come and go as they please. They have there's no telling how many. It's well over 1,000 acres they roam on. If you ask anybody about them, they're Navajo horses. They belong to the Navajo Indians. The Dene. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but they call themselves the people. So anyway, there's a lot of them here, and I live right on the edge of the Navajo Nation, so I leave my gates open, and they come in and out, and I give them water and stuff, the horses, and I don't own any of them, so anything you see in any video, unless I say otherwise, which at the moment I cannot, these horses do not belong to me. And I have talked to the brand inspector, and because there's a couple out there I'd love to own. But here in New Mexico, at least, if you're out traveling with a horse trailer and there's a horse in it, you better have title to that horse, proof of ownership. They still frown on rustling. So anyway, there's that issue as well. But so at the moment, there's was a herd of 14 that lives down there in the canyon, and videos that I'm posting will show the canyon, and I've actually got a picture. It's not the greatest picture in the world because again, these horses are wild. It's hard to get close to them. People do chase them. People do try to round them up. I was actually enlisted to help a couple of my Navajo friends round up some of their horses that had gotten loose. That was fun, and it was a great experience. I learned a lot of stuff. But at the same time, I also found out that it's been known to happen that someone would slip in here and set up a portable corral and corral these horses up and load them on a big truck and haul them out and sell them for by weight. And you know what that means, and I don't need to go into it. So anyway, I've always I grew up on a farm. We had horses, and my dad was it was a true cracker from Florida. He worked cattle with bullwhips and horses, and horses has been part of my life off and on. And in the military, it was what I did for a second job. For 4 years, actually, I managed some barns in Oklahoma for a guy there, and for that I got free rent and place to keep my own horses. So it worked out real well. But it was kind of like my second job. But so I have a little bit of experience, not very much, but a little. But I still love to look at them. So my fear is, according to the brand inspector, if people start complaining, they will come round them up, and they have 7 days, anyone who actually owns them, to prove they own them, and then they can come collect them. After that, they're sent off, and they may make it, they may not. They may end up on a truck going somewhere that we don't want to talk about. Oftentimes people will rescue some of these. There's actually an ad right now where someone rescued five. I think there was five under 1 year old colts and fillies off of a truck, and so they had to give $500 a piece to get those baby horses off of that truck, and so they're out there looking for people to rescue them. So anyway, a lot of these videos that I'm intending to put on the internet, hopefully that's going to happen. That if there's any proceeds from it whatsoever, that's what it would be used for, is to turn this 5 acres here on the edge of the nation into a place where maybe I could also rescue a Mustang or two, or a horse off of a truck or something, just to see if I couldn't maybe help the cause a little bit. These horses actually originated in North America. Then they were for whatever reason they vanished from here, but they turned up in other places, and those other places bred them for other things, and then they ended up back here by way of I guess the English or whatever coming in here to anyway, I guess the Spanish brought some horses, and it just goes on and on. There's a lot of history, a lot of rich history there. So the ones that we still have running free here are back where they started. It's back where their lineage started. Even it's fun to see them out here, and it's fun for me to see them come in here and be standing outside the window of my shack of a morning, and then watch them leave and go out my gate and to go wherever their little heart's desires to take them. Well, I guess wherever they think they can get the best grass or whatever. But they're free to roam, and they're healthy. Their feet are not overgrown. There's no ribs showing. There's no hip bones showing. There is one stud horse that roams around here. He's got his own little pack. That's Lefty. I've got a lot of pictures of him when he was a young colt, and but he's a grown stud now, and he's got his own little herd, and he's got a little issue that looks to me like it's a possible little hernia. I had a chance to really give him a good going over, but other than that, but this horse Lefty is not typical Mustang. He really looks like he's got a lot of quarter horse in him, so there's no telling where he come from or how he fits in the mix. But I do know he's got some colts, because he came up here last spring and brought a little mare in here and kept her in here inside my fence for about a week and bred her often until she finally had enough and kicked him in the teeth and hauled buggy over the hill, and away she went, and he was right behind her, and I haven't seen either one of them since. But let's see, about another, I would say 6 to 7, maybe 8 months, we're going to have another little colt. I'm sure of it. And the mare is a beautiful gunmetal gray, a little bit on the small side, but she's young. And Lefty's not a great big horse. He's short and stocky, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they produce. Hopefully I'll get a chance to see that little colt come along. So that's what I do a lot here in New Mexico, is I'll just watch the wildlife, and mostly the horses. There's also elk here, and there's deer, and oftentimes sitting here in my shack with my binoculars looking out across the canyon to the canyon wall on the other side, and going up it, I see some stuff over there. Last year we seen a lot of elk. This year not so many. However, the lake is not nearly as full as it was last year. We've lost a lot of water. The lake is way down, so the elk have to travel further to get to the water. So I'm assuming they're taking a different route, because this, like I said, is wide open country. But occasionally we'll see them, and they'll line up like ducks in a row, and it looks like they're going to pass through my view down in the canyon from daylight to dark. But I think I seen them passing through one time for about 15 minutes, maybe closer to 20 minutes, from the first one I seen to the last one I seen in the trail. So that was fun. Anyway, this is starting to get long, so I'm going to go ahead and shut it down and say 73s to everybody, ham radio lingo. And it's been great, and hopefully we'll get to see each other again. This is Bob again in New Mexico, and bye bye for now.